Vice Mayor Bill Costner.
Here.
Alderman John Bugg.
Here.
Alderman Freddie Gregg.
Here.
Alderwoman Kathy Hope.
Here.
Alderman Kenny Morgan.
Here.
City Attorney Terry Hurst.
Here.
Thanks, Scott. Approval of the minutes of the previous meeting, the regular session, October the 11th, 2011. Do we have a motion to approve?
Mayor, I'll make the motion.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. Thank you. The next item is recognition of Showcase on the River volunteers. We have several that we'd like to represent, and if you're present, as I call out your name, if you'd come up here behind the council, then we'll have a group picture. Penny Gates. Somebody knows that one last.
Thank you.
Nick Holt. Rob Mathis. Craig Wild. Tanya Cameron. Representative from the First Baptist Church. Willie Green. Cindy Yates. Newport County Boys and Girls Club. We're starting on this side. Keep Cobb County Beautiful. Jeff Cody.
Couldn't be here, Mayor. He had a family.
Okay. Dale Brown. Kenny Morgan.
Thank you.
David Veradal. You're here somewhere, Craig. We really appreciate it. Thank you all very much. Now let's work. Who's got here to make this good picture? Yeah, that'd be okay. Okay.
You're in good company over here, John, bud. All right. I'll take 3 shots. 1, 2, 3. That's pretty good. Take that over. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right. Thanks.
You need names or anything?
I know I wouldn't smile over Craig.
You got to stay there for your name.
Thank you all. Hey, Dale.
Oh, no. Okay. No, that's on the yeah.
Regina, do we have a list of names that's not present that they could add to it?
3 of you all.
The names of the ones that were not here so they can be listed.
I know we're better than you all up for next year. We need you again.
Next, we'd like to recognize an employee. This is the first Employee of the Month award that we have been able to present. It's something that the city of Newport started, and I think it needs to really be done because we need to let our employees know how much we appreciate them for all the hard work that they do. And this month, the winner is Mark Hill. That's a $1 check, is that right? For the first one, and then we're going to try to up it, cup of coffee, and then you deer hunt.
You'll have to have another dollar.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's not $1 anymore. It is in McDonald's.
Anybody deserves it, you do. They do. Every one of them, no doubt about it. Thank you, Mark. Tim, would you like to say something about Mark? I know it's hard to come up with something.
Well, Mark does so much for our department, the flower, our maintenance crew, the community center, the swimming pools, the river walk, the city hall, the county building, police department, fire department. He does a lot of things good for our department and for our town. And I waited 3 years to get Mark. We worked on him for 3 years before we were able to recruit him into our department, but he is our right hand and our left hand. So if anybody deserves it, Mark Hill did. So thank you, Council.
I think we have several members of the leadership class. Don't know exactly who you are, but if you would stand. Wow. Let's give them a hand. That's good. Does anybody want to give a speech?
Did you say Bud had to stand back up?
Yeah, Bud, did you stand back up?
He's got more jokes than I've ever seen.
You want to tell us a joke? No jokes, okay. All right, we'll move along. Communications from Scott Collins, City Administrator.
Mayor, I just have 3 issues to discuss tonight. The first is Christmas in the City, Santa Land here at City Hall will be held on December 2nd. That's Friday, December 2nd from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. And this year it's going to be somewhat different than in years past. It's going to be along the river walk and in back of City Hall. So it's going to be a true winter wonderland, so we're encouraging everybody to dress very warm. It's going to be much more interactive. There's going to be reindeer games and several other activities. And we're asking everybody to bring their own cameras and to take their pictures with Santa this year. But, of course, everything's free again, and we're looking forward to another, this is our 4th one, so we're very excited about it. Next issue is in regard to the TDOT paving of Highway 321 and North Street. They probably already, or will be starting here in a few minutes.
They already are.
Okay, they're already grinding up from the bridge to Broadway, and then they're going to try to let the grammar school traffic get in and out in the morning, and they're scheduled to start paving at 10 o'clock in the morning, and they're going to try to complete this section from Broadway back to North Street Bridge by 3 o'clock before grammar lets out. And the very last thing I have is, you'll notice we have a display over here. Tim Dockery has found an excellent deal on some defibrillators. We're going to have one placed here at City Hall and one at the community center, and future plans for one over at City Park. But Tim, if you would, just make a few comments about them.
Well, of course, this has been something we've been after for at least the last 5 years. We feel like this is an important part of what we got going on in our pools and all the patrons that come to the community center and here at City Hall. That, you know, Red Cross has changed a lot in the procedure for compressions and rescue breathing. And one of the things that we found out that rescue breathing is pretty much going to be passive, and everything's going to compressions and AED. And we are certified as instructors for this, and we'll be training the staff here at City Hall, then those at the community center too. So it's exciting for us to have it. You never know when it's going to be a family member or if it's going to be one of your patients that come into your center or here at City Hall. That the rescue line is a lot quicker with a defibrillator versus if you do it with your hands on compressions and rescue breathing. So we feel like this is an important part of what we do.
Mayor, that's all I have unless anybody has any questions.
Thank you, Tim and Scott. Item 6 is an appointment for the Newport Housing Authority Board. Polly Palmer's expires this month, and in a letter received from them a month or so back, they had recommended to me that we reappoint her back to serve another term. So that will be my recommendation, and I'd like for council to, as well, to make a motion and a second and approve that.
I'll make a motion. Second.
All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. Thank you. Moving on to item 9, new business, the first reading of the ordinance 2011-11, amending the zoning regulations for digital reader boards.
Mayor, I'll read the heading of that ordinance into the record. It's ordinance 2011-11, an ordinance to amend the zoning regulations of the city of Newport to reduce the timing for digital reader boards.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. Item B is Resolution 2011-25, General Obligation Refunding Bonds for Newport Utilities Board.
Mayor, I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. Here.
We need to read that.
Resolution. Motion and a second and approval is all we need.
Item C is Resolution 2011-26, Electric System Revenue Refunding Bonds, NUB.
I'll make a motion. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none. Item D, consideration of use of city property, 243 Lincoln Avenue.
I'll make a motion that we allow them to use the property to not exceed the fence line, and that, in the future, if we have to have that property, that we need to move the building.
Did we get that in there, Greg?
And I'll second that.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none. Item E is consideration of T-Dot acquisition on Broadway and McMahon Avenue. Do we have a motion?
I got a question on that.
Okay.
Which one are we going with?
Letting them have everything,
Okay.
the benches and stuff.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none. Item F, consideration of the general fund and payroll account at same bank location. What's your pleasure on that?
I think we've looked at this quite a bit, and I think it would be easier to move the general funds than the payroll account, because you've got 120 some odd checks each month through the payroll account. It'd be easier to move the general funds account than the payroll.
That's, and Scott, correct me, but it says the auditors recommended it as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion, we move the general funds to the same place we have the payroll, which is National Bank.
That's a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it, Mayor.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none. Item G, consideration of Arlie Blankenship to use early retirement.
I think what Arlie is only wanting to do is get this approved in case he has to have it for Sheila, so I'll make the motion.
And I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none. Item H is consideration of Jason Smith to use early retirement.
Is this his retirement or his third bucket?
The early retirement, it is the third bucket. They're the same thing, we just got in the habit of calling it third bucket. I think Tim Darby gets credit for calling it buckets, but it works. We all know what buckets are. Mr. Mayor, Blaine, we got it, Blaine. Mr. Mayor, members of the board, Jason Smith has written me a letter. Jason has received an injury while off duty. He's unable to work and probably won't be able to work before the 1st of next year. And he has asked me to come before you all. He's used up all of his accrued time or his sick time, and he wants to go into his third bucket. It is a legitimate injury, and I talk to him regularly, and he just asked that we get this approved for him so he can continue to take his leave and his extended time.
It's your recommendation?
It is, sir.
Is he trying to get workman's comp or something?
He can get workers' comp. It was off-duty injury. He's trying, I mean, he may have some litigation with the city where he's injured, but as far as, it's nothing to do with work. He just wouldn't act like he wouldn't be drawing a quarter.
Really? Does he plan on coming back?
He does. He has told me that he can't wait to get well enough to come back.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All of those in favor indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed is no. I hear none. There is nothing on the consent agenda. Floor is open for comments from citizens.
I have a question.
Yes.
I stand here 1 month later, the last month, asking the same question. The Tanner building. Last month, Mr. Collins said that the work would begin on the 28th. It did not. That every month has been a different start date. If you don't start, you can't finish. And all we want to know is, when you going to start?
Okay.
Are you concerned with your senior services and our senior citizens? We'd like to ask that question.
Okay. We were up there today, plotting it out, getting prepared for it, and the only question remaining now that the electricity is back on and everything's operating, the only question remaining is the environmental hazards. And we have folks coming in this week to address that issue, and we hope to start moving by the end of the week.
Well, my question last month was, are we going to get in there before the first of the year? Or by the first of the year?
We're sorry. I mean, we're trying everything, and we're wanting to do it as quickly as possible, but we've also got to address the environmental concerns up there.
I understand that, but everything that tornado tore up in this town has been worked on or has been fixed. The adult education is halfway up, a roof is on, and nothing is happening. And we're homeless, and we keep being moved around from pillar to post, as my mother said. And, you know, it's kind of getting a little taxing on our seniors. And we're just wondering, you know, is anybody concerned about our senior citizens in Cobb County?
Absolutely. That's the reason we're taking all precautions necessary to make sure when the building is reopened, it's safe.
Any other comments? Yes.
I just want to thank everyone that came out on the National Field Take Back Day. We were very productive. We got about 56 pounds, including the tub of drugs out of cabinets and medications people no longer taking. I personally delivered that to an incinerator at the Eastman Corporation and watched it go into the incinerator. That will never be in our water table. It will never be in any of our children. And I just appreciate everybody that came forward and brought those pills and gave them back so we could get them destroyed.
Thank you for the event. Any other comments?
I have one comment. Earlier in the week, I spoke with Mr. Ted Brown at Brownsville Home, and he give me a concern over the Riverwalk, and he said that he had since discussed it with Scott, he had talked to you, and that Ian's had decided to leave a 12-foot opening for him to turn around, or to motivate his vehicles.
We're going to try to work with them in every form possible. It depends on the state, though. They have the ultimate say on that.
And that's what I told him. I said it always depends on the state, because they have the last word, of course, in matters like that. But he had just issued some concerns, and I told him that you would work with him, because also Donnie Costner and Tip, and they're our neighbors, they're our friends. We got to work with them.
Thank you, Kathy. Any other comments?
I got a comment on it. If the state of Tennessee says you have to put concrete barriers down there, I think you ought to have them down through there, no matter what. Because you have a sign, a big sign down on the lower end of that walk says no traffic on the. Now, if you leave that open, there could be traffic come through there. And I've discussed this. If we do leave it open, let's say we do, I'm not for that. If we leave it open and Mom and Papa is walking on the Riverwalk and somebody comes around that building and runs over Mom and Papa, who's liable? City of Newport. I think if they said put concrete barrier down there, I said we ought to do it. So you got your pros and your cons. I'm for cutting them down. Now here's the kicker. Now I'm just up front. If Tip Man would have wanted that walkway, if it went ahead and said, you can put it behind my building now, we wouldn't have to be spending this money coming up this sidewalk up here. So that's the way I feel about it. He don't want it back there, we wasn't going to block him out. He told me he's going to be landlocked. You're not going to be landlocked, Mr. Brown, because we are not on your property. So that's how I feel. I think we ought to do what the state says.
Usually the state, whatever the state tells us to do, we have to do it anyway. You got to do it. Anyone else?
Mayor?
Yes.
I'm Tom Moody at West End Baptist Church. I've been before the planning commission on this sign ordinance, and then the workshop, and then with you, and I appreciate what you all have done. I would like to let you know that I am going back in front of the planning commission. I feel a sense from you all that I can also would not be able to get a change on the animation. I want to get a definition of what the word animation means. I've never been told what it means. What is animation that is prohibited by that regulation? And I would like for somebody, the planning commission, and then work my way back up to you all, because it's your regulation. But I just wanted to let you know it'll be coming back up before you probably next time. I hope it does. Anyway, it's been shot down 2 weeks ago, so I just wanted you to know I'm trying to get a definition of what animation really is. What does that mean? And if I can get that definition, I'll be happy. I'll just be happy as I can be.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else? We have a motion to adjourn. I'll make a motion. Anybody against it?